Welcome everyone. It's been a busy couple of days. Kind of a wild ride. Lots of good things and a lot of really crazy shit going on. Excuse my French. You know, for me personally, being part of the summit this week was amazing. For Ignite, having my book launch, that was wonderful. But throughout much of that, there's this undercurrent of violence happening all over our country. And I've been struggling to know what to say about it. Because it makes me so fucking angry. It is not okay. It is not okay that our Black brothers and sisters have to constantly be in fear of their life. It's not okay that young men go out and have to worry about whether they're going to get shot, whether they're going to have excessive force used against them. None of that's okay. And yeah, I'm white, and I have all the privilege of being white. I have a lot of friends who are Black. And I've seen from the inside what it's like in the prison system. I worked as a prison doctor for, how many years was that? 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. I don't even remember. A couple of years in Kansas, a couple of years here in California. And it's a fucking revolving door. I was at the Alameda County Jail for like 2.5 years as a psych physician out there when I was practicing medicine. And it's like in and out and in and out and in and out. You know, they had this thing, it's called the preschool to prison pipeline. What happens in really early education has a lasting imprint that affects kids all the way through school, affects whether they even go to college, affects whether they're going to end up in trouble, whether they're going to end up in jail. And it's this early trauma that contributes, and to this endemic, just racism throughout our country. And it's not okay. And it's not okay for us to stay silent about it. Those of us who have white skin, who are able to go outside and feel safe, who don't constantly have to be worried about how they talk to a police officer, we have to be willing to speak up for those who can't for fear of the retribution, lethal retribution that might happen to them. The divide in our country it's upsetting. And it doesn't have to be that way. I celebrate the people all over the country who are standing up and contributing their voice. And it's been really hard for me to figure out how to contribute to this conversation in a way that's constructive, because there's so much anger, so much Kalima, Sekhmet, powerful deities. They're about destruction, but they're also about creation. They're about calling out the bullshit that's going on. We all need to speak out for what is right, and we know. On the inside, you know what is right. Are you too scared to speak out against it? I know, I feel so fucking frustrated. On the one hand, I want to curate my feed and not have to see all that bullshit. Keep my vibration up. But I can't ignore it. I've got so much to look forward to. I'm so psyched. I'm part of the One World Tantra Festival that starts tomorrow, and I've been really, a lot of my days have been like focused on organizing the volunteers and getting ready for that, and it's amazing, and I'm really super excited about diving into this. But Tantra is not about turning away from the shadow. Tantra is about embracing both the light and the dark. It's not just about sex. It is about that entire pie of being human. It is about the light and the dark and the shadow and the light and everything. Understanding everything as being part of the human condition. Birth and death, it's all part of the human condition. And we don't need to just accept things the way they are. We need to fight for the world that we want to have. The time that we have been here in our cocoons, in this liminal space where we're recreating this new world. Yeah, it's been a time to go inward, to learn about ourselves and to figure out what we want to create, but it also needs to be a time when we find our fucking voice. When we find that courage to stand up for something that actually matters. When we find the courage to stand for each other, and we find the courage to call out the bullshit. That top little percentage of people in our society have made so much money off of COVID. They're doing nothing to help the normal people. And I'm one of the lucky ones. You know, I have my home, and I love my home. I'm not in fear of losing it. I've got white skin. I can go out when I want. I don't need to be in fear. I just can't sit idly by. I usually like to do a card draw and a meditation. I laid out my cards today, thinking I could bring this back to that place. So much rage inside of me right now. And sometimes you just gotta let that rage move. I have sadness inside of me. Sadness to see the world but you know what? I also have hope. I see people stepping up, and I see people speaking out, and I see people taking a stand. And that's something. But we need to make that more universal. This is about coming together in unity. We are all one. This is not about us versus them, good versus bad, black versus white. We are all one. In the core of our beings, we are all one. And if you deny that, you don't know the truth of who you are. Go inside. Stop looking for something outside of yourself to blame for your problems. The truth, the answers are never outside yourself. Never. They're inside. It's always an inside job. So you've got to go inside and find those answers, and you've got to find the strength to stand up for what's actually right. To speak out. To call a spade a spade. I don't know where that fucking expression came from. Excuse all my French today. I'm mad. I'm standing by my brothers and sisters. I don't know what I can do out on the streets, so I'm speaking out here. If any of this resonates with you, put a comment below. What is the kind of world you want to live in? What's the kind of world you want to create? And how can we together stand together to uplift each other? I don't have the answers. Wish I did. Kalima out.